welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk to you about 5 things that happen when you buy eggs from the supermarket. This is something I've been wanting to film for ages, but it's difficult trying to find the right words and trying to portray it in the right way so you actually get the right take-home message from it. So eggs are a staple in most people's diets, obviously because of the fat and the protein, and they're easy and they're cheap. But because I've been on my plant-based journey for almost 3 years now, I wanted to share some tips with you about why I will never buy eggs from the supermarket again. So I'll take you through 5 things that actually happen that you may not know about, and then 2 tips at the end so that you can minimize your impact of the negative effects and try to contribute to a greater cause in the world. So number 1 is that at 1 day old, these chicks get their beaks snipped. Think of it like getting your finger cut off to stop them pecking at each other in the tight living conditions, and this is done with no painkillers, and a lot of these chicks die of shock. Number 2 is that 54 billion chicks are hatched and fattened up and slaughtered at only 42 days old, when the average lifespan for a chicken can be 10 to 15 years. Number 3 is that the calcium from their bones is used to create the eggshell, but because of how we've bred them over time to create so many more eggs, many of these chickens also suffer from lameness because of the high demands of the egg producing, and also because of their the size of their bodies are much larger than chickens used to be in the olden days, so that we can eat them. Number 4 is that for slaughter they get their legs shackled, they're hung upside down, their throats get slit, and then they're scalded to remove their feathers. Now, because of the extremely fast processing times, if they don't die straight away from getting their throat slit, they actually boiled alive in this extremely hot water to get their feathers taken off, and you can only just imagine how bad the pain would be for that. Okay, so last but not least is number 5, which has been the driving factor which has kept me on track this whole entire time. So what do you think happens to all of the male chicks that are worthless to us? They're not gonna, we don't eat them and they're not gonna lay us eggs. What do they do to all of the babies? There's a couple of things. Sometimes they throw a whole bunch of them into a garbage bag and they suffocate them to death. Sometimes they get gassed to death. Or the number one thing that plays over and over in my mind, they just get put down this like ramp that that drops them into like a live grinder. And think about how cute baby chicks are, just like 1 day old, freshly hatched, and they're all cute and fluffy. They literally get thrown into this grinder and ground up alive, all because you want to eat chicken and you want to buy eggs from the supermarket. So just think about that next time you make your decision. And to conclude things off today, I want to give some options so that you're not left like, oh my god, what is the world doing? And just so you know that it's not a lie, it's not something made up for veganism. This is happening all around the world every single day. So I have a couple of solutions for you. Number 1 is to source your eggs from lifestyle blogs, or if you have space you can get your own chickens and even ducks. Even when I lived in my small town in the Waikato of New Zealand, when I was young we only had about 10,000 people in that town. We had like a decent sized backyard, and this wasn't even to produce the eggs, but we ate them anyway when we were young. We had pet ducks, and they are the coolest pets. There's this one type called Swedish Blue, and their wings are too small for their body, so they can't actually fly away, and they're pretty much twice the size of ducks that you see at the ponds. So we had these pet ducks, and you just walk onto the lawn every day like, here, duck, 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 and they all come like quacking up to you. And their eggs are huge, they're great for baking and stuff. And if you even have space, you can have your own chickens, and then you know that they actually have a happy life, and you know that they're like being well looked after, and you can have the eggs from those if you like. If you don't have space to have your own animals, I just moved from Auckland City in New Zealand, and I was still able to source free-range eggs. Obviously, since going plant-based, I think for the first 2 years I only had it about 3 times within the year because I didn't really crave it, I didn't really like them anymore. But then I ate them and realized that my body did feel quite good off the fat and the protein. So Living in the city, I found a pharmacy where it was locally owned, and the guy who works in the pharmacy, his parents had his own chickens, so he was selling proper free-range eggs in his own store. And then there's also lots of signs along the road on the outer skirts where there's like lots of free-range blocks and people are just selling the eggs to the public. You can see their chickens running around, they have a good life, and that's guaranteed that the hens are being looked after. So it's definitely possible, even if you live in the city, you can definitely source them. Another tip is to just incorporate them less into your diet. You don't need them every day, bacon and eggs all the time like we do with our like Western culture kind of thing. You can, if you're having toast in the morning, you can have avocado and tomato. Another one is toast with peanut butter, banana and chia seeds, or you can make lots of nice, you can do scrambled turmeric tofu. That's another really good one. Instead of scrambled eggs, you do the tofu with a bit of garlic, a ginger, rosemary or some green herbs like Tuscan seasoning, Moroccan or cumin, salt and pepper, and scramble the tofu as if they are eggs. And the other tip I have is use lots of, there's so many vegan egg replacements that we can use. You can make a chia egg, so you get a tablespoon of chia seeds and you soak it in a little bit of water, and then after like 5 to 10 minutes it's created this gooey texture that can hold together baking, like when you're making cakes and stuff like that. Same goes for flax seeds. You can also use mashed banana or applesauce or silken tofu. So those are my tips to you, just so that we can have a little bit of a happier world. I know people probably don't think much of hens, and a lot of the time people think that animals are just put on the planet for us to eat, but I just want you to put yourselves in the animal's shoes, and how would you like it if you got treated like that? You want to have the best life possible, and then we can kind of view us all as equal and create a nicer world for everyone. So I hope you like this little video, and subscribe to my channel and like this video if you would like to see more of my plant-based content.